On today's Minute of the Apes, we just beached it. That's what she said.
Hello and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the daily podcast where we break down every minute of the Planet of the Apes movies 1 minute at a time. I'm Todd. It's Sean and Richard. I wanted to reverse the name today. It's Sean and Richard. How are you guys?
Happy Thursday.
Hey, doing well. Thank you for this fantastic craft beer.
That's right.
Yes.
They're actually drinking a beer that I brewed, and they're being polite about it and not spitting it back out. So
We're getting hammered. We've been drinking this all week. Almost.
the alcohol content of it ended up being a little bit higher than we expected, and it will get you a little loopy quickly, I promise you.
Awesome.
All right, so we're on to minute 4 of Escape from the Planet of the Apes. Sean, tell us what's going on.
We're going to start minute 4 with the helicopter still landing on the beach and ends with 3 astronauts exiting the capsule.
Let's take a listen to minute 4 of Escape from the Planet of the Apes.
The General, sir.
Anybody in that thing? I don't know, sir. We just beached it. All right, open her up. Open it up!
All right, as of minute 4, we've got a planet's worth of humans.
Man, that's after a gaggle of this and, smiddling of this, whatever it was, now we've got humans.
A psychor telepath and everything. Yeah.
Now we're just humans.
We got a planet, people.
All right, so right away we jump to the fact that they're going to open this capsule up. They're going to crack this baby up and figure out who's inside.
Yeah, it goes back and forth between urgency and non-urgency of, hey, is there anybody in there? I don't know. We just beached it. Well, let me just walk on up.
Yeah, for assembling a military effort out there is sort of a blasé of, let's open it.
Yeah, and then I guess they were going off the technology of the time, having gull wings on the on the pod.
All I could think was, God, that kind of looks like plywood that they put a support bar on, but... to be fair, every movie set in the whole world, even the Great Millennium Falcon, is nothing but plywood and texturing and whatnot.
You shut your whore mouth.
I know. There are a lot of people out there telling me I'm sacrilegious right now. So the big thing that hits me right away is we've got the military men on the beach. Did anyone else notice as they were saluting as our aponauts came out?
Well, we don't know they're aponauts at this point.
I'm going for it. So they put their hand up to salute. Does anyone feel like they're suddenly the monkey see, monkey do, the hear no evil, speak no evil? It just seemed like that was even lined up in a comedic sense. Like they're a little bit of buffoons saluting what they don't know it's there, and they've also brought a military group out to suppress it.
Well, so the helicopter lands. We begin this minute with the helicopter formally landing. We have 3 military brass get out of the helicopter. They walk up to the colonel that's already standing out there on the side. They salute. All 5 of them salute each other, and then they kind of move past. They give the command to open it up, and they kind of move past the firing line as if everything's going to be okay, which I thought was kind of surprising. They're just like, no, just go off in front of it.
Just walk
We're
up
going to greet the kind of stuff. There was something already kind of slightly comedic in the 3 military leaders, particularly the main gentleman who's, I don't think his name has been spoken yet.
We know no names at this point.
Right, the 2 of them. They're both playing serious,
right?
But there is something informal about the way they're conducting themselves that made me think there was a little bit of comedy happening.
Kind of a little Mayberry PD.
A little unintentional. Yeah, a little unintentional. We're playing military, but we're not really military.
It really evokes the feeling of Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home.
Uh-huh.
How that had a comedic undertone right from the beginning. This film already has that feeling to me. You think about it, the films are incredibly similar, where they're almost divergent from the usual norm of what this has been.
Where instead of being a future movie, it's a present movie?
Yes,
Yeah.
that we've taken this and we stepped it in, and there's the comedic element. Even their presentation, there's something, the buffoonery of their faces as they look out. They aren't stern generals. This isn't
Right.
Patton. This is, hey, we got to be up here and salute.
Because the first two movies, as I'm thinking about it, I can't think of any real humor that was in those movies. Can you?
Yeah, I mean, there were the attempts whenever they would make, bad puns, when Lucius would make bad puns about teenagers and things like that. That was about the extent.
So I stick with my original statement. There was no humor in the first two movies.
There was no successful
There
humor
you
in the
go.
first ones. Yeah, I mean, this one just right away has the feeling like the humans are a little bit of, they're stupid to an extent.
Yeah.
They aren't organized and they aren't together. I'm sure that's intentional, because you can't just start seriously and not at least have introduced a tone of the ludicrous nature of some things. I don't think. I mean, you can have action and you can have comedy, but it's the same. This film will play pretty much as a very sweet love story comedy.
All right.
So the audience hears the command, to open it up, and the shout, open it up. And then we see the frogmen open up the hatch, right?
Like no security on that.
Right,
They just
just
kind of open it
oh,
up.
hey, cool,
Anybody can crack this open.
But I was interesting how almost immediate the first astronaut appears. You see the top of a helmet, you see a left foot, you see them kind of come up, you see the frogmen just naturally reach their hand out to pull the astronaut up. We see the astronaut number one kind of walking on the front cone of the ship. And as the astronaut is coming to the front cone of the ship, we have the second astronaut emerge. The frogman is helping that one up. Astronaut one hops down onto the beach, kind of assembling over to the left side of the screen. As astronaut two emerges and starts to walk down the cone, astronaut three is now being pulled out of the thing. And we kind of, we end the minute with the one astronaut on the beach and the two still standing on the ship itself, with nothing having revealed yet at this point.
Yeah, since they haven't done the reveal that we've already seen from the trailer, I'm going to save some of my comments about how they act and dress for the next minute.
Well, let me throw in right away, because we've got the three guys on the beach. I want to talk about the actors. John Alderman is the one that's kind of leading the whole endeavor. We don't know his name yet, but he has some really, really interesting filmography notes. Let's see, he passed away in 1987, only at the age of 52. Good Lord.
Wait, I guess he was a lot younger in this film than he looks.
Yeah, so he was roughly in his 40s, early 40s when this was shot.
Wow.
If not the late 30s. But this man, not only he did some Dynasty work, and I mean his filmography is extensive. What catches my eye is that he was in a ton of blaxploitation films.
I thought you were going to say porn for a second.
He was in.
We were just talking about blaxploitation.
I know.
films.
We just
talking about Luke Cage. Yeah.
We were talking about things that we want to hit in the in between, and I grew up, loving blaxploitation because I saw so many things and bad, like rebroadcast, and they would be cut down and things like that, and it was exciting to me. I have no idea who this guy is. He was in Cleopatra Jones.
Okay.
He was in The Black Godfather, which I have to read for you real quick. What IMDb says about this: JJ, a rising star in the black crime scene, is in the process of consolidating his power over the neighborhood. Only one of the remaining obstacles is a white heroin dealer. God, I love shit like that.
Is the heroin dealer white? Or
Yes.
Is the
It's actually a white heroin cartel, so it's a bunch of whiteys.
Okay, well, I was going to say, is the heroin white or is the cartel white? Where's the comma in there?
I can't answer that for you, Sean. But I mean, this man, he did everything. Now,
I just wanted the description to be, it's like The Godfather, but he's black.
we also have Harry Lauder, who's the guy on the far right, who had a long character actor resume, but the one that we have to discuss, Emmett Walsh.
Emmett Walsh.
He is in this film. I mean, for people of our generation, are there many character actors that exceed Emmett Walsh as far as he's in a little bit of everything you've ever seen?
Yeah.
Right.
I had forgotten he was in this film until it came out. I was like, well, son of a bitch, there he is. I said to Sean before this gets going, Emmett Walsh is the guy that either gives the absolute greatest line reading or the line reading you think, is he reading that? And I hate to say it in this film, there are occasionally times where I'm like, oh, Emmett, you got to pick up your game just a little bit because you're on the low end of that
And for
spectrum.
people who don't know who he is, he's the one with the glasses on.
He is the one with glasses. If you've ever seen Blade Runner, he plays the guy that brings Harrison Ford back into the
Yeah.
fold. So I mean, he's been in tons of stuff. He was in Blood Simple by the Coen brothers.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen him before. Trust me.
You've probably seen him as an old man.
Yeah, he's always the old
He's
dumpy
always,
man.
even when he's young, he kind of look old.
Okay, so we've got our three guys, and I can see Richard has something to say.
So we're 50 seconds in. The thing that I wanted to remark on the moment with the astronauts emerging is how pristine
The outfits
their
are.
astronaut outfits are. The fact that they have also no markings on them.
Well,
and-
maybe they saw the mutants right before hitting the spaceship and got some clean clothes there too.
But we never saw the original astronauts in true space gear. They were always wearing their little ANSA jumper type thing.
Yeah,
so
where
we can
you put
assume,
cigars in the pockets.
We can assume these were probably in the ship.
yeah.
I guess so. They're in the
ship
back
with-
storage.
But there's not even like a flag on it, just something to indicate. Because that, to me, we'll talk about it in the next minute.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the reason they don't have any indications on it because in the script but not in the movie, they're talking about it could possibly be Russians or something like that. So if you have you have an American flag on there, that deflates the situation. If you have no markings on there, it
Correct. If they had,
escalates
if they had intended for the editor to originally leave in the Russian dialogue, therefore when the suits come out and they have nothing on them, makes sense.
Yeah.
Not even like a name.
No,
you know?
but this is a beautifully staged moment if you've never seen the trailer.
True.
Regardless
True.
of the,
Yes.
if all the things that we're discussing, if you've never seen, don't know who's going to be here. The only thing that you can point out visually with what you see that you kind of go, oh, is the final person that comes out in the spacesuit is a little smaller.
okay,
Assuming that's Kim Hunter.
Yeah.
But that's a smaller person, and you can begin to think, but they took up women with ANSA. They had Stewart, thank you. Zombie woman. So it works, but then they get to the beach, and we have the reveals of taking their helmets off, which I'm going to say...
In the next minute. Right?
Yeah, next minute they take that.
Oh,
helmets off.
damn it, that is. I just looked ahead. See, my notes are wrong then, because I have it that the music hits in this minute 4.
I have minute 4 ending with first astronaut on the shore, two astronauts still walking off the ship.
Oh,
And then it starts
I
with
took my notes wrong.
the astronauts jumping off and then the salute.
Fine, then I'll save what even
No.
excites me more. We'll leave it to this.
So we've got the pristine costumes. We've
Yep.
got astronauts emerging. We have nothing on their costumes. Do you think that the original working title of the film was Secret of the Planet of the Apes? Do you think Escape lent more to a reveal of what's happening here? If it had been Secret of the Planet of the Apes,
Well, I don't see how it's Secret of the Planet of the Apes because
We already know what the secret is.
and yeah, it's a secret to the humans that in the future the Earth becomes inhabited by
Intelligent
apes.
and humans become savages.
It doesn't work, and what you almost have to have is, even to make the story plausible, is escape from the Planet of the Apes because they blew the shit out of it. You had to get away from it. So you're setting that.
the audience needs to know that there was an escape, that something did happen to
the
get
previous
out of
movie.
that particular scenario.
And even with, if I'm going to go back and draw the comparison to Star Trek 4, the reason you call it the voyage home is because of what they have to do. There has to be, your names often to me have to be that. And I think that if you went for the secret, it's the wrong thing to discuss. It's how did they get here?
Why do you think that Dane wanted to originally call it the Secret of the Planet of the Apes?
I don't know. You said that. I really thought, what's the secret he wants to discuss?
What is the secret? Yeah.
I mean,
Unless
I think there might be some discussion when we get to the very end that we could
Maybe.
speculate on why we call it the secret.
But yeah, I mean, not knowing how this ends, I can see where if it's secret, the whole secret would be somehow that the apes that come back in time are actually the progenitors of everybody.
progenitors. Wow, you're smart.
They actually start all the smart apes with them,
Yeah.
becoming like a paradox where they don't exist unless they go back in time and create all the smart apes.
You having not watched this film, these are conversations we are going to be able to have.
Okay.
I begin to think, as you said that if you're not already letting your mind, whether you know it or not, pull from the most recent Apes films, and because they kind of allude to things that happen and you get it.
No, I haven't seen those. Don't spoil
I'm
the
not,
movies for me.
I'm not. I'm trying my best to skate for both of you, but I think that he's beginning to see what happens there and start finding that middle point.
Okay.
And I think that's where, at least that's, I'm not saying you wouldn't figure that on your own, but
Yeah.
I almost think that inevitably your brain is going to go,
Yeah.
and trust me, there's still lots of surprises for you. I will not.
All right.
spoil them.
All right.
Well, so we get everybody off the ship, and we're left in that moment then, since I wanted to jump ahead to what really excites me about tomorrow's minute. When I get there, you guys can just deal with how excited I am.
Tomorrow is the minute, right?
It is
that's
the
when
minute.
that's when the movie starts. This is literally when the movie starts, is in the next minute. and it's our Friday.
Which, again, I want to stress that already this film, 4 minutes in, kicks the shit out of Beneath the Planet of the Apes. As far as just a storyline that, great. If you love Beneath the Planet of the Apes and you love some of the things and the themes, you cannot deny that this film is not better constructed within 4 minutes than the entirety of Beneath the Planet of the Apes.
They have not given me a sexy man or woman yet, so I'm a little disappointed by that. Nobody's
Hey.
in a bikini.